Are we back? Are we back? Are we back? Are we back? On the air. We're back on the air, guys. Everybody's pissed because I'm a few seconds late. You're all babies. You all sicken me. You all make me sick. You all make me sick to my stomach. Hi, guys. What's going on? You guys see me? Can you see me? Am I for real? A minute early. Exactly. Exactly. The trick is to get you all used to me being late, and then I'll be early, even though I'm late. Yeah. Hi, guys. Hi, guys. What's going on? Another week with no Dandadan. I swear to God, I forget what's happening. Right? I'm hoping that this is gonna be like the last thing for a while. Right? Right? Yeah, I know. Can you imagine? Just for the show to start late. That's crazy. That's crazy. Imagine that. Free broadcast. Free broadcast, and you can't wait a minute for your boy. You can't wait a minute for your boy. It's dreadful. It's dreadful. Hi, Ronald. Thank you. I'm glad that you watch all my stuff. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I'm glad. I'm glad. Obviously, it's the highest compliment that I can receive for people to enjoy the content. You know? Like, hi, Eric. Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. Like a, conditioners for disappointment. Yeah, exactly. I should have posted that Dandadan's going to be released this week. A new chapter is coming out this week. I should have said that. That would have got people in seats, right? Because as it currently is, I don't imagine we're going to get that many people in today, and that makes sense. I mean, come on. You know, everybody forgets that the channel exists after a week of no thingy. Hi, Ian. Hi, Tiago. We're safe. We're all good. I'm glad that you're a big fan of Dandadan. And we're all big fans of Dandadan around here. It's kind of our whole thing. At least partially. You know. Like, it's a funny thing. Desperate. I know. Well, this is the thing, right? I've conditioned myself to talk about Dandadan once a week for an extensive period of time, to the point where I don't know where I am or who I am without that anymore. I know that sounds sad. In fact, no, you're all just as bad, so never mind. But it's I've conditioned my brain. I've conditioned my brain to expect that injection each week. So I feel like I'm a little lost. You know, I'd have even taken a ninja chameleon, karma chameleon arc, you know, over nothing. But that's fine. Danda desperate. I know you're Danda desperate. It's part of the Danda addiction, but I don't know what to tell you. You know, next week will be a good one. We're also really deep into some excellent territory with Dandadan right now. I'm really pleased about where everything currently is. I know that a lot of people are upset. I personally enjoy all of the current stuff that's happening in the manga, even though it feels like it was a fucking million years ago that we saw that. Speaking of which, in defense of Dandadan's Love Triangles video is back up on the channel. I had a copyright strike issue with it, and one, I mean, everything in there was fair use, so I wasn't concerned about that. But it was it was down for a perfect amount of time for people to not give a shit about it anymore. So thank you, Shueisha. I appreciate that. You know, like, they took it down just long enough for it to no longer be relevant. So anybody who's not seen it, go watch it. You know what's crazy about that video? I got it back, yeah. But what's crazy about that video is I was like frantic after that chapter. I had so many ideas and things I wanted to say about it, and and so I made that video in record time, right? Like record time, less than 2 days or just about 2 days to get it from idea through to finished, right? Like I absolutely raced it out the door because I was so excited to kind of join the conversation about that, and it struck down within like 4 days, and it's like, what the fuck? Why did I bother racing ahead to make this thing? It's like if I had left it for as long as 2 weeks, like the boost from releasing it would have been higher. So it's like, and it was doing really well for itself beforehand. I was getting some really interesting comments and stuff through. So it's quite frustrating that this has happened. You know, it's a very disenchanting experience. You know, because you don't know what's going to trigger you know, the manga companies and things like that, but it's just the nature of the beast, you know. One of the things that I'm always even if it doesn't perk back up, the video stands on its own as decent, so I'm happy with it regardless. But yeah, maybe it will get a boost after next week's chapter. They took it down because they were it's just copyright stuff. It happens. Some guy, some absolute goober working somewhere is just gonna be like is gonna be just taking stuff down that has anything to do with the Shueisha properties in it. They don't have a very good copyright law standard in Japan, so that basically the fair use is not a real concept over there. So anything using any IP is essentially struck down. You know, whatever. I mean, it's the nature of the. Forget you work with the man. I know. Tatsu would be furious. I don't know. It could be an AI. I don't think it is. Like when it's a copyright strike, it's typically someone. When it's a copyright strike, it's typically someone who's seen it and then has wanted the video removed, right? Because it was a strike against the channel. But this is one of those cases where the fair use argument for me was as clear as crystal. Like there is no wiggle room issue. I don't think it was all done for commentary purposes. I mean, it is what it is, right? Yeah, I know. I agree, Tiago, but a lot of companies don't really fully understand it like that. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, like you are using their intellectual property in order to create content and also in turn make money, but it is done for commentary purposes, for criticism purposes. It's not like an intentional stealing of content. You know what I mean? Right. This is actually really bizarre. Yeah. Anyway, it is what it is. Hi, one of the drunks. You haven't missed anything. Just talking about how the new, how the Love Triangles video is back up. And obviously, you know, I'll just show you where we're at with the, yeah, it's like striking reviews. It's not even like striking reviews, right? Because for the most part, it's not necessarily a judgment call for me. For me, I was arguing that from a commentary perspective, that people need to just relax about their criticism. It was glazing it, if anything, you know, fairly, definitely within the scope of my feelings on it, but what can you do, you know? I know. Again, in Japan though, they just don't see it as free publicity. They see it as stealing, and even beyond that, it's really the guy who would have struck it down would just be some guy, some salary man, working some job. He probably goes through thousands and thousands of these videos, related to all kinds of Shueisha property, and it's just striking to meet some quota. So I don't really feel, you know, I don't feel like too broken up about it from that perspective. I mean, the guy's just doing his job most likely, but the copyright law in general, I think is something that really requires proper revision, in my opinion. You getting lag, guys? That's a pain in the arse. You getting some lag, like actual lag? Yeah, my internet speeds are a bit slower than I. One sec. Let me see if I can fix it. Chair. Right, that fixed it. I think that might have fixed it. Shueisha come after me. Yeah, I think that's fixed it. They're coming after me. Yeah, yeah, it is what it is, guys. I mean, like, I'm not massively broken up about it, if I'm honest with you, just because it's like it is what it is. But here we are. That's the main thing. That's the main thing. You know. Like I've seen, you know, recently, like, generally speaking, with the channel, I'm quite grateful for the way that the everything runs, even though we do hit some roadblocks occasionally. Hi guys. We do hit some roadblocks like this occasionally. I find that we're still. You keep getting lag. Still. Have you refreshed? That's a pain. I don't understand why you'd be getting lag. It should be alright over here. I don't know what to tell you. Like, keep an eye on it for me and let me know if it keeps happening, because if one of you's getting it, then some of you must be. I'm gonna delete this. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah. No. Obviously, we hit some roadblocks with things like this, but I'm still fairly grateful for the way that you know, the relationship that I have with the channel, just generally speaking. A lot of channels don't make it, you know. You're still getting lag. That's really weird. That's really weird, because I'm getting good figures on my side, so I don't really understand what that would be. Yeah, see, my upload and my download speed are totally fine. Alright, no worries, kills. What the hell, though? Sure, he's just trying to dox us. Yeah. No, but like I was saying, a lot of channels don't really make it. You know, especially in this space where we're so reliant on, we're also reliant on what the YouTube algorithm will let us do. Okay, well, keep me apprised, guys. I don't know what the hell that's about. I don't know what that's about. But anyway, my point is that you know, even with these kind of issues, it as long as it works for me. YouTube is a funny thing, you know. It's part of the reason that I don't see any, like, I don't really have any aspirations for this to become a job. For me, like, it's a nice side thing. It's a nice hobby. It's good to have a community and everything like that, but I don't see this as work. I'd never want it to become a job-esque kind of thing, because I've seen how that ends up for people who make content. Some people can afford to do it with Patreon and things like that, and that's one thing. But my general scope of interests are quite narrow. So it's like I only jump on things that really interest me. I'm not the kind of person who's going to make a video a week kind of thing. It's like sometimes it's a month. I'm trying to aim for monthly videos. But even then, it's like that's hard because of how much thought and attention has to go into the script. Yeah, well, this is the thing, Tiago. If you start putting your eggs in the basket of YouTube, if this is your thing that you want to go for, the problem becomes a matter of having to always have something to say, having to always produce content in order to stay relevant. You have to jump on trends, and sometimes you just don't have anything to say. But you've got to say something because it's a demand of you that you have to say something. So then your quality is going to suffer, and it's just, before you know it, you drop the whole thing, you know? Like, honestly, I find it hard enough already to stay motivated. So I try to, you know, to fill in the gaps where I can, but to avoid it. So, you know, the love triangles thing is like, it's not life or death for me. You know what I mean? Yeah. Exactly, Tiago. So I'm just trying to roll with things over here. I'm just trying to roll with things over here and make it work. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. What really matters is, ladies and gentlemen, here it is. Here she is. Let me get it on the other. There we go. Here we are. So, goddamn, this is extensive. This is more extensive than I remember it being. So, if you recall, guys, we started building out the Dandadan web, right? And as you can see, it's extensive and doesn't load very well for some reason. What the hell? It does not load well at all, by the way. Hold on 1 sec. 1 second. So I was just checking to make sure that it's not like struggling too much. Yeah, right. So here we are. As long as I don't zoom out too much, it should be okay. Yeah, web with web. It's the web with web. So, fucking hell, I don't know where to go from here with this, if I'm honest with you. This definitely ran better in Firefox. But I couldn't get it to load. I couldn't get it to load in Firefox. I don't know what the fuck. I deleted the GIF. We had a GIF here from Hot Fuzz where he's all like, same person. So, Dandadan. Alright, you may have heard of it. We've got our boy Okurun. We've got our girl Momo. And as you can see, they're in love. We've got amnesia, suppressed memories, but not gone memories. Stolen powers, no parents. Rejection when, childhood friends. Love square. Megamind, yeah, no parents. Count Saint Germain, he's very much in the middle of everything here. What does he want? He is the big question mark, not just of this arc, but I feel like he is the huge question mark. The huge question mark of the entire series at this point. Because despite everything, we know so little about him still. So little about him. Like, what is the guy's deal? Where is he from? None of us know. Right? We know that in some way he serves as a like consultant. He serves as a consultant in some capacity for Vlad, and that we've got this. In fact, what we need to add is that society of well, the Illuminati, right? We've got like a Dandadan Illuminati kind of vibe going on as well, don't we? I actually don't know where we'd find that. What is it? The Black Paladins. Is it the Black Paladins? Is that what they're called? He is weird. Alright, so he's the Prince of the Delacroix family. So let's get this bad boy. Pop this over here. Prince of the Delacroix family. So that is one of the families of the Black Paladins. Let me just get the images up. Investigation. Investigation. Got links to the Serpo. I do wonder to what extent this is going to be important, if you know what I mean, because I must say that that's overall the notion of the Black Paladins isn't the most engaging for me. I kind of feel like a bit lukewarm on it, you know? Like, what is it? It's like we're talking like underground society stuff, right? Like, and we do live in a society. That's the craziest thing about it. Well, he's got connections to the Kurt and the Serpos as well. That's true. Let's move him down here a little bit. I don't think that this guy is like a main guy. I think that the question really is, what is the relationship? What does CSG gain from this? Right? My mindset is that CSG is using this almost like almost like a petri dish. Do you know what I mean? Like to test whatever theory that he has regarding the Dandadan. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think that this guy's the main guy. I just don't. I think it's about knowledge. Yeah, exactly, Ian. I think that this feels like not main arc energy. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like what we're doing with this guy who's just shown up, this kind of random dude, does not feel like we're close to the end of Dandadan. Which is pretty good, not just for all of us, but also for the channel, right? So we're going to be doing this for a long time. Yeah, exactly, Nicholas. I think that beating him is like number one, like number one boss of lower tier kind of bad guys, right? Like I just don't see it as a kind of a main threat. I just don't buy it because he's quite dull, really. But nevertheless, we don't know that much about him. You know? I'm also not super sure that the what would you say, the whole Black Paladins thing is going to be like a massive element of it. You know, this feels like maybe after we deal with these Black Paladins, which I imagine is going to be something that's going to take a little while, we'll probably be dealing with off-planet stuff, right? You know, maybe the Black Paladins, because obviously there's a global element to this. Maybe they'll go on a little trip somewhere else in the world, you know? Like I'll tell you something. I'll tell you something now. I'll tell you something right now. My boy Tatsu, and I know this, I can tell. My boy Tatsu is a fan of Persona. Okay? He's a fan of Persona. So I would not be surprised if they all go on some fucking field trip somewhere. I wouldn't be surprised if they all go on some field trip abroad. You know? Because those moments, like they go to, I think they go to Hawaii in Persona 5. And it's like a big thing. It's like the big trip, right? I just don't think that that this is like the end game at all. You know, I think that would be quite entertaining. I'd be quite entertained by that. You know, yeah. I mean, like, I don't know. Egypt would be very bizarre. Egypt would be very bizarre. I just wouldn't be very surprised, you know? I just wouldn't be very surprised at all if that is the case. They do something like that. It'd be cool. I'd like it. You know? And meet Mothman. Maybe. They could. They could. I mean, like, who knows? Who knows? Dandadan reference from Naruto. What's the Naruto reference? Unfound the golden arrow. Who knows? Yeah, somewhere in Europe or something like that. You know, that'd be pretty cool. Somewhere else. I don't know. I think it'd be pretty neat. Like, I always quite like those moments in Persona because they would offer, because they'd be kind of going on it'd be like a pause in all of the main plot for them all to just go and do like interpersonal stuff, right? That's when your characters would all go on the dates and things like that, or they'd have those moments where people get closer to each other, and I think that that's something that could maybe be beneficial. I mean, I do think taking a bit of time away from all of the threats could be quite nice after some of the characters start to get a little bit closer to each other again, namely Momo and Okurun. I don't know. I'm quite excited for where we're going. I do think that we're probably closing in. I do think that we're probably closing in on figuring out the Momo stuff at this point. I think that like really you'll know, right? So if you remember guys, we Okurun's catchphrase, it's a toad. Oh. That's interesting. I remember the toads in Naruto because he had that little bag, the little purse. Naruto has a little purse that's in the shape of like a frog, like a toad. Yeah, like a beach episode. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I think Dandadan. Right, there we go. Right, guys, there we go. Let's lock that in, please. Let's lock that one in. Dandadan needs a beach episode. Done. Easy. Alright? Dandadan needs a beach episode. That's what we need. I don't care if it's conventional. I don't care if people are going to cry about, oh, it's just so, it's, what the fuck? It's a trope. Oh, it's a trope. It's a trope. Like, you know what I mean? Like, shut up. It's a trope. Whatever. Yeah, okay. It's been done before. Oh, it's been done before. What are we going to do? Needs a goddamn beach episode. No, the theme park's been too character driven, right? Like too interpersonal, conflicty. Right, we'll get a club shack. No, the club shack will be used. Thank you very much. Okay. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. We got the Maid Cafe episode. Anyway, we're getting off topic, right? We're getting off topic. My point is, what was I saying? Right, the memory stuff, right? If you recall, when all of this memory stuff, the amnesia stuff, first occurred, the first things that we kind of start talking about in regards to the potential of the arc were very much related to kind of what's happening right now, which is jealousy, which is the chance for Momo and Okurun to figure it all out again, without the powers, without being forced to work together. Would they still come together? I think that the case is invariably yes. And obviously it is. I mean, this is Dandadan, right? It's really Momo and Okurun's story, right? And one of the things that we spoke about, what can we get from the amnesia arc? And I'm pretty sure we talked about this in the first stream where the amnesia thing became a thing. One of the only things to really get out of this amnesia thing is for it to result in the jealousy and the love triangles being resolved, or at the very least addressed. Because, you know, that's what's already happened. They were already used in the past to spur on their relationship closer. Using it again to happen from the beginning, it fits. It fits the tone of the arc, right? Which is that idea of retreading what we've already done. So taking the time to resolve it through that makes the most sense. However, outside of that, outside of those things that we've listed, I don't know what else there is to get out of this arc besides that. And that's not me saying, oh, it's time to wrap it up. If there is something to get out of it, I'm happy to do that. I'm happy to learn that. But we've done the whole Momo doesn't remember Okurun thing. We've done that. Like that was the first thing that we did, right? Is this idea of them not knowing who each other are and still getting that feeling that she might know who he is. We've gotten the them working together, fighting together, and overcoming threats together. We've seen that it's happened, right? There's a trust element now. There's a trust element that is being worked on through the jealousy stuff, and that's happened before. We did that before at the beginning of the series, right? Jealousy spurred on interpersonal conflict, broken trust, which was resolved through physical confrontation with an alien force that forced Okurun to admit that he was lying before, tell the truth to Momo, and for the two of them to work together, reforge that trust. And through that trust being reforged, it was used as a conduit for a new kind of honesty to emerge between the two of them, which opened the door to the relationship flourishing. And from that point onward, it was just a matter of falling in love. But everything after that point, the nurse's office, right? The nurse's office onward, everything after that point in time was not predestined exactly, but it was much more certain. Okurun finding his resolve was maybe the last thing that was really a matter of decision, of choice, was him deciding that he was going to pursue Momo, even though he was intimidated by Gigi, and overcoming those confidence issues. Everything after that kind of was like a cascading effect. We're in that same kind of situation here, where after the trust being reforged, there's an honesty that emerges and a closeness that comes with it that can only really be followed up by a decision by the two of them, one of them. The last time it was Okurun, this time it will probably be Momo, to make a choice to pursue those feelings. After that, everything that happened after that, the cascading, the dominoes that fell after that were almost predetermined, and it leads to where we were before, right? So, I don't know what else there is to get besides plot. Outside of plot, I don't know what else there is to get after Momo and Okurun. For Momo and Okurun's relationship, after dealing with the jealousy stuff, reforging the trust. After that, it just becomes like that same cascading effect. Does that make sense? Did you get what I'm saying? The dominoes are going to fall the same way again, and it's like, I guess you could say that the two of them could make that choice to fall in love again, but that's it. So I feel like we must be at least at the halfway point here, maybe a bit past the halfway point with the memory loss stuff, because I just don't see what else there is to get outside of the jealousy stuff being dealt with and the proof that they would fall in love again. I just don't see what else there is after that. High support. You know what I mean, guys? So to me, it's yeah. No, I just don't like again. It's not even like it was something that we guessed it. We figured out that we'd be here when Momo lost her memory. It's just when you think about what the narrative device was used. When the narrative device was used, what is the narrative device being used for? What's the end result here? Do you know what I mean? For me, it can't be something dragged out. It can't be something that's dragged out. I just don't believe it's going to be something that's dragged out for as long as the Kintama stuff, because it doesn't make sense. Because Momo, I say, arguably, she's definitely half the main character. She's arguably the main character, right? Depending on the arc, she is at any one moment the main character or the second main character. While she is benched for this version of Momo, she's not there. That's your main character. Tatsu's favorite character, right? That's just not there. You're not going to leave her benched forever. You're just not. It's not the same as the previous arc, because the Kintama arc, yes, Okurun didn't have his balls, but we never saw his balls anyway, right? So what does it matter that he didn't have them? That was just, for the most part, a narrative device to get the story going, to make it make sense for these aliens to be attacking him, and for him to be attacking the aliens or seeking it out. It gives them a goal. Momo losing her powers, arguably, yes, is that, but she also lost her memories with that. I just don't see it lasting for very long. Blissmas is around the corner, guys. Blissmas is around the corner. You just have to believe it is, because I just don't see it going on forever. I can't see it going on forever, because we are really at pretty quick pace dealing with a lot of these jealousy issues. We're at a pretty quick pace dealing with a lot of the Momo doesn't remember Okurun stuff. You know, it's gone quicker than it did last time, and that's what it has to do. I mean, for Christ's sake, a lot of the imagery that we've seen is basically a redo of the imagery we saw in the original saga back there. I'm just not convinced that this is going to go on much longer, because it's really, if you think about it, the amnesia stuff is arguably the perfect way, the perfect avenue to deal with the jealousy stuff, because they were obviously never going to do it themselves. They were never going to do it themselves. Yeah, well, yeah, that's in Dandadan days. It was like less than a week for sure. You know, so I don't know. I get people want this. I get people want to do this done, like to get it done, but also I want to let it breathe if it is going in the direction that we think that it's going, and I have no reason to think that it's not, you know. Well, well, Shadow, I think that it's I don't think it's the whole point of the arc. I think that the amnesia stuff is part of it. I think that the primary I think that the primary reason that we've got the amnesia arc is for Momo and Okurun to revisit those early moments, because it happened way at the beginning of Dandadan, right? Their interpersonal, well, no, their romance. A lot of the romance scenes that are iconic to us now happened in the first, what, 40 something chapters. It's like, it was a long time ago, you know, like most of the really romantic stuff happened a very long time ago. And if you're going to complete their move together, if you're going to complete and kind of find a degree of finality in their relationship finally reaching its culmination, you need to revisit that stuff. You need to revisit those emotions, and the best way to do that is by literally revisiting them, to do it again. But with the sole design, with the sole intention being that Okurun and Momo can come together even without the circumstances of before. In a different context, it doesn't change the fact that they still would have found each other, grown closer together, and be fallen in love. And what better testament, what final act, final proof of the devotion, the love that this guy feels for her, what final act is there than for him to be able to bring her back from oblivion, essentially. You know, if somebody literally everything that you had done, all the shared memories that you had, scooped up and taken away and stolen away, if you can overcome that and bring this person back from nothing, that there is no greater testament of love. But this is the thing. If you do that, and I say there is no greater testament to it, it means there is nothing else that you can do as far as them coming together is concerned that would top that. So the fact that you have topped that to such a high degree means you can only go backwards, or you can get them into a relationship so that their love can evolve in a different way. That's the point of it. And getting that, reaching that goal of Momo and Okurun being a couple through this act means, even if not rejection, solving the love triangles. That's my perspective. You know, I think that this arc, for me, this arc ends with Momo getting her memories back because of Okurun. And in some way or shape or form, their relationship needs to take an official step forward. You know? It needs to take an official step forward. And then we can see the relationship kind of mature a little bit and grow, with the understanding that they are a couple. And then we can explore some of the other characters a little bit, hopefully. You know? I'd be very intrigued to see how Ida and Gigi deal with the aftermath of such a thing. You know, their relationships are solid. All of their relationships are solid with each other, but it doesn't mean that they can't feel the impact of this. Yeah. I mean, I think that they will start to... I think that, for me anyway, the whole idea of them dating as a term for Momo and Okurun is kind of a categorically understanding their relationship, I think, is something that even they can't do. One of the beauties of Dandadan for me is that lack of categorization, if that makes sense. It's the inability to say, we are a thing, we like each other, whatever. That lack of capacity to do something like that is part of the allure for me, because that's a lot of relationships are like that. You know, very rarely, like I at least in my experience, relationships just do not take that step of, I guess we're boyfriend and girlfriend now. I just don't think that that is that typical. I think that it just kind of like, you know what I mean? You just kind of vibe into it. You roll into it. You don't need to say it in a lot of ways, even though they'll both know it. For me, the categorization, what needs to be categorically true, is for the both of them to have admitted to each other that they feel for each other, and then try to untangle that and see how their relationship changes when that honesty, that lack of nuance is out there. You know, that's what matters to me. Yeah, I think that what for me, I would love for the for everybody to be aware of how Momo and Okurun feel about each other, but I still think that Momo and Okurun's relationship needs to, in a lot of ways, flourish in secret. Not in secret, but away from people. These are very private moments. That's why they matter so much, because they are hidden away. And I do think that bringing that out into the daylight is important. But what really matters is for them to be honest with each other first, before they're honest with the rest of the world. As long as they know it, as long as everybody else knows it, you know. But ideally for me, I do think that Momo and Okurun are going to be not like constantly public, but people to know what's happening. And it would be nice for the love triangle stuff to kind of disappear. It's not a massive, and I think this is what's really important about how they've treated Ida recently, is her relationship with Okurun being much more deep than just a matter of oh, I like Okurun, that kind of thing. Shows that they do have that underpinning of friendship, to keep things running, you know, like showing us that, demonstrating that these two are friends and not just a one-way romance, is important if you're going to be transitioning them into being friends, because like Ida and Okurun need to have that understanding of being friends as well. And I think that's part of what he was doing back there. And if that is the case, masterfully done, by the way. Masterfully done, if that is the case. Because it's Ida shooting a shot, but also being incredibly genuine. Incredibly genuine, incredibly friendly to Okurun as well. You know? Yeah. Hey, J-Man. Thank you for watching the video. I'm glad that it's back up again, so I'm happy to see that people enjoy it. Yeah, no, I think I agree, J-Man. I mean, this feels really slow, you're right, but that's partially because there have been quite a lot of hiatuses. You know? I think that Momo will make it clear how she feels about Okurun. Momo will make it clear how she feels about Okurun, but it's got to be within the scope of her character. Do you know what I mean? Like Okurun has always been very forward when he needs to be. That's part of his character growth. You know, part of his character growth is to just say it, because he feels it. And it's something I love about his character, is that when push comes to shove, he's not scared. He does stand up and he says how he feels. Momo is not the same. I think that she'll probably make it clear how she feels, but I don't know if she'll just come out and say it in the same way that Okurun did, which was quite spectacular fashion, really. I think Momo's way of saying it would be more subtle, more quiet, and more personal. Than Okurun exclaiming it in this huge never gonna see each other again final act. It's so Okurun to do that, but in the same vein, it would be so not Momo to do the same. So I don't know. But I'm excited to find out. I'm excited to find out. You know, I don't think that she's going to just announce it in the same way. And if she does, I think it would just be a quiet thing, a personal thing, a very intimate experience. Because it's a very personal thing for Momo. Momo does not let people know what she's feeling. She doesn't let people know about what's underneath, the surface. It's part of her character. For her to just come out and say it, I think would be partially, unless it's done particularly well, would be partially done in order to make us feel gratified. And I don't think any of us want to betray the character in order to do that. You know? I quite like that, Orbis. I quite like the idea of that. I must say that I do like the idea of her kind of, even if she isn't saying it out loud to Okurun, I do like the idea of her saying it internally about how she feels, you know? But look, guys, we're clearly in fairy tale territory. I think that's safe to say. I think we are in fairy tale territory at this point. And this is another reason that the tropes business kind of works, right? Because a lot of what's happening here is kind of playfully toying with a lot of existing kind of stories, right? The Pinocchio thing and telling the truth, wanting to be like a real boy. Momo, Alice being shrunken down, all of these things are ridiculous. But partially, I think that's the point, right? Like Tatsu is having fun with this, I imagine. And it sounds cliche, and it sounds very tropey in the same way that Amnesia does, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there is a kiss involved in this entire thing, or this arc ends with that kind of. Again, it sounds ridiculous to say true love's kiss, right? But just if you even think about that for a minute, that entire concept, when you remove the term true love's kiss from the equation and it just becomes a kiss between two people who love each other, it's not so ridiculous anymore, right? So it could be the end of this entire fairy tale kind of thing, to break the spell, if you like. Hi, pal. Oh my god. Makes the club shack the witch's house. Oh, nah, that's crazy. That is interesting, Pickle. That is interesting. That is interesting. It's kind of like that. I guess, what, you say he's fattening them up. He's fattening them up. That's what he was doing! That's what he was doing! He was fattening them up. He was making their powers stronger so that he could take them later. Bro's the witch, bro. From fucking Hansel and Gretel. He was fattening them up by giving them powers, by making their powers stronger. By making their powers stronger so that he could fucking harness them. Just like the witch in Hansel and Gretel fattening up the kids, dude. Yo, that's crazy. Oh fuck, Pickle, dude. You just caused a brainwave. That's wild. That's fucking unbelievable. Is that actually the intention? Because that would make the club shack make sense. That's wild. That's wild. Ain't no way my boy's the witch, dude. No, there's not a witch in Red Riding Hood, that's true. I'm intrigued. I feel like there's something in here. I think that there is something in this. Right? Interesting. Interesting. Bro. That's wild, actually, isn't it? Yeah, I know. He caused brainwaves. How does she get her memories back? Your guess is as good as mine. I mean, the question is whether or not her memories are part of her powers or not. I mean, she either gets her powers back to get her memories back, or Okurun just brings them out of her. I mean, to me, I feel like Momo's clearly got something about her that's special, outside of just her powers. She's shown already that she still has her chi. Right? She's shown that she still has her chi inside of her, because she was able to use it with Okurun when he was using the Ogre Club. I don't know. Maybe she still has her powers inside of her. Maybe she's got too much power. You know? Maybe there's an infinite element to her powers. But whatever it is, I think that her memories are suppressed. But they do still exist because they live beneath the surface. That's why some of it bleeds out sometimes. You know? I don't know. I mean, for the difference between Zuma and Momo, though, is that Momo's powers came from inside of her. They weren't lent to her by a yokai. Momo's powers are part of her, whereas Zuma's powers were handed to him by his brother, the yokai. So I think that there is a bit of difference there. Momo came to and unlocked her powers because of the fact that she was able to, that there was a clear definitive point in time where she accepted her potential, as she discovered this whole world. So it could be that locking away those powers stopped her from accessing the rest of her. Locking away her memories caused her to stop being able to access her powers. So it could be that she still has her powers underneath there somewhere. This is it. One of the drunks. This is what I'm saying. One of the drunks. One of the boys. Part of the crew, part of the ship. Yeah. That's possible. No, that is possible, Orbis. That is possible. Yeah, I mean, it depends. I mean, it this is what I'm saying. It could just be a copy-paste kind of thing, rather than a cut-paste. You know? Or maybe, like, I don't know. I mean, like, we're told constantly that Momo's powers are or she's the id cosmos, as it were, are clearly something special. Right? There's clearly something special there. If you're able to just transfer that to somebody else, I don't know what makes it so special, because it just makes it look like she has just hand powers, right? You know, like I said, she's a unique case. Momo's a unique case because of the fact that her powers come from inside. Like she already had them. Whereas the rest of them who lost their powers did not. You know. But that honestly, that the idea that CSG is like fattening them up, and he had them build the club shack, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Orbis will share that. We'll share that theory. Not Orbis, Pickle. Pickle. We'll share that theory. Alright? We'll share it. We'll get shared custody of it. Okay? Shared custody of it. Yeah. Exactly. No, this is it. Mighty Empire. This is what I'm thinking as well. Like it could be just a copy kind of deal, or taking a portion of her powers. I mean, it depends, right? Like how much you can take, you know. Not to sign anything. Quiet, cat. Silence, cat. I know, I'm ready for season 3 as well. I mean, like, it's a while off. We're a while away from season 3. It's part of the reason that I'm drip feeding out the Dandadan related content. Don't expect Danmara arc retold anytime soon. Anytime soon. Next year, maybe. No, be quiet, Pickle. Be quiet and just take the 40%. Take the 40% I grant you. Any ideas that are invented or created in the Safety Zone Rookie chat are the intellectual property of the Safety Zone Rookie brand. Alright? That was your fault for mentioning it here. I mean, I could see it lasting like to the summer, to be fair. Look, at the end of the day, Dandadan's more of a character-driven thing than it is a plot-driven thing, and the plot, in a lot of ways, in my opinion, is more tied. The plot is more tied to the characters. It's more of an expression of the characters than it is anything else. So I don't see why it would last too long. I think if it overstays its welcome to that degree, it's like we spoke about it earlier in the stream, but like it really, this whole thing can only really continue. This amnesia thing can only really continue insofar as it continues to serve a greater narrative for Momo and Okarun. And I think that we're starting to get towards the latter portion of that, the latter half of that. I think we must be, if not halfway, past halfway with the amnesia stuff. Because after a certain point, you start to run out of juice for the interpersonal stuff, for the romance stuff, which is, kind of the whole thing. After Momo and Okarun run out of kind of leg room for this, it stops being interesting. You know, and the jealousy stuff is one of the areas that actually could really benefit from this whole discussion. You know what I mean? I don't know, Orbis. I really don't know. That's a good question. I mean, I think that the rules in Dandadan, shift depending on the depending on what it is that's wanting to be done, right? That's a good question as well, Orbis. It might take away people's chi. I don't know. I really don't know. Like, what power does Seiko have? Your guess is as good as mine. Yeah, yeah. Gigi has his own natural chi, which is how he was even able to see the evil eye in the first place, right? And that's why he's able to fight without the evil eye. Ida can't fight without Akira Silky. Yeah, no, I agree with that. Mighty Empire, I agree with that because at the end of the day, themes, just generally speaking, themes in any form of art, I think that a good author knows when to explain something and when to get out of the way from explaining something. I think a lot of Dandadan is pretty clear about its in arc themes, especially the Space Globalist arc. You know, I think it's pretty clear about what it is that it's trying to say about the nature of conflict, about the nature of imperialism, genocide, all of these things, and startling relevance to the human condition. Going out of your way to explain that and describe that to us devalues our ability to take something away from that, because when you actually go and sit down and read something like this, the broad strokes of the theme are pretty clear, but also the minutia of it are going to change depending on the person, right? The exact way that it's conveying that information changes depending on the person. And a good author, in my opinion, knows when to get out of the way and let people take something away from the art. And Tatsu does that. Sometimes in really big ways, and then sometimes in smaller ways, which is what we're kind of seeing here, which is that in my from my perspective here, Tatsu doesn't need to tell us about things like revisiting past events. He doesn't need to tell us about the nature of Momo and Okurun's relationship being able to subsist and overcome even forgetting each other. He is telling us in this arc that what they feel is deeper than even recollection itself, right? It's spiritual entwinement between two people, and that is something that completely transcends time, space, and even memory. I don't know what greater testament there is to the idea of Dandadan, and the two characters, to Momo and Okurun. So this is why I'm happy to be along for the ride for this. I mean, again, I think that Dandadan Orbis, I think that Dandadan, insofar as its understanding of or its obsession with things like what each device does, this kind of thing, I don't know that it really matters. You know, like the knives take away people's powers. I think that's really it. That's all that we need to really to know about it. I imagine that if they did use it, then Gigi would lose his the evil eye, but presumably he'd also lose his powers too. I imagine, right? Gigi's an interesting case in that regard. I don't know. You know, we've seen that Mai can be taken away, right? You know? Do you think he's played the game? What game? What game? What you talking about? Let me have a look at this. Right. So we've actually done very little on this. I don't know if Koki lost the pygmies. We've not really seen her. Oh, you did not just do the fucking game thing. Like we're in 2005. Futa's gone too. Yeah, exactly. Although I don't, this is another thing that's confusing about Dandadan is the very nature of the yokai themselves. Like obviously Futa's soul passed on because he gave up his life essence. He gave up his life essence to Zuma in the same way that Akira Silky did for Ida. So he's gone. He's passed on to a kinder world. But still something lingers. Or rather, maybe the remembrance of a person inside of the one who carries their power now. You know? Like obviously, Ida says that Akira Silky, like she refers to her powers as Akira Silky. But I think it's just a matter of taking on their powers brings out that side of them rather than the actual physical, literal entity still existing, you know? Yeah, I think that it really is just powers, right? Like powers can just be taken away. I mean, until somebody with more than one ability loses their powers, there's no knowing one way or the other. I mean, Koki's the best example. I think once we get reacquainted with Koki, we'll know. And after this whole thing has happened, the dinosaur fight, what I presume to be the dinosaur fight, ridiculous. We're probably going to have a dinner scene, and it's going to be fucking complicated. That's what's going to happen, right? Like, you remember the one at the end of the Kaiju arc? The dinner scene at the end of the Kaiju arc? How there was so much drama between everybody. There was jealousy in the air. All of these things were happening all at once. Expect that. Expect things to be, you know, confusing. I don't imagine that like they're gonna have to learn to overcome these things and work together. But we'll learn more about everything then. This will be a big one, I think. But that also serves that end of Kaiju arc, the end of the Kaiju arc. That dinner scene served really nicely as a comparison point. In a lot of ways, it existed. The Kaiju arc, in a lot of ways, was kind of just a prelude to the Space Globalist arc. But you use that Kaiju arc as a frame of reference, that dinner scene, as a frame of reference to the one that's at the end of the Space Globalist arc. Because that dinner scene was kind of like a... what was very confusing, emotional, a lot of feelings running high, especially between Momo and Okarun. But by the end of that, they're at the closest point that they've ever been together. And having that ability to kind of like see that and then bring that forward and have those two comparison points, those dinner scenes as comparison points. You know what? I thought you were support. I thought you were taking the piss. I thought you were taking the piss earlier by just bringing up the game like you're a fucking like chain email person. Like you were using chain email or something back in like fucking 2010. But you were talking about Persona. You were talking about Persona 5. Yeah. I thought that's what it was. I do think he's played Persona 5, yes. I think Tatsu's definitely played Persona 5. I just want a beach episode. I just want a beach episode. But we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Won't we? Anyway. Right, where are we with this? I feel like we've filled in a lot of the really important stuff, right? Like, we need to start filling out some of the lingering questions. You know? One thing that we do need to see One of the things that we do need to see is for Turbo Granny to use her powers. She needs to use her powers in her cat form. This is really important. Right, like this is crucial to me. This is of vital importance, is that she uses her powers in her Maneki Neko form. Is that soup? Good soup. Good soup. Yeah, Koki's down here. Can she still see the pygmies? Oh my god, she's so pygmy. Tiny, speedy porcelain cat. Yeah, that'd be sick. You got the little muse on here. Oh, you want the muse on the board? Get the muse on the board. How? Yeah. All right, I'll get them on the board. They are in a thingy. Although I feel like they probably could just stick in. I love how on the wiki the picture for the pygmies is just this, but only this portion of it. I'll just leave it there. It's cute that they've all got different color hats, isn't it? I really love the pygmies. I love the pygmies. They're so cute. Oh yeah, look, Kinta 2.0 rebuild. Look at him. Look at him. He's absolutely fucking... God damn. Dead? Is he dead? Yeah, Guy Fieri. He's taking you to Flavor Town, dude. He's taking you to Flavor Town. What's the what's the name of the guy who kills him? What's the name of the mystery barber who kills him? The wiki has him listed as Futakori barber? I don't know what the fuck that means. Link the muse to dead as well. Alright, bet. Oh wait. That makes it look like Koki is dead. That makes it look like Koki is dead. Hold on. Oh, hold on, guys. Let me get a picture of the pygmies. A cute picture of them, though. Where are all the cute picture of the pygmies? What the hell, Yente? Right. Apparently, they're just No, I'm not using ugly one. I refuse. They're too cute. Yeah, it's Sweetie Todd. That'd be ridiculous. I wouldn't be surprised. Alright. Alright. Let's get our images up. Dead? Maybe. Maybe. Alright, what else? What was the other thing I was looking at? What was the other thing? Oh yeah, the barber. The barber. Does Sweeney have another E there? I don't think it does. Does Sweeney have an E there? God, I can't see a goddamn thing. Nah, it's staying there. There we go. God damn. Tweeny sod. That'd be crazy. That'd be ridiculous. Fine. There we go. The Demon Barber of Sweet Street. Yeah, I would like for him to be a good guy. To actually be a good guy, that'd be pretty fun. Was to give Kinter a glow up. Yeah, you know what? You're right. You're right. That would be fucking dope, wouldn't it? He needs to be rocking. Honestly, this is canon Kinter for me now. This is canon Kinter. God, I love obnoxiously using the term canon. This is canon Kinter. What the fuck does that even mean, dude? Right, what else have we got to fill in here? Oh yeah, I might need to add in Cast's drawing as well. I think you mean headcanon. I hate all forms of canon. I hate the term canon. I think it's fucking... I don't want to get started on it. I don't want to get... Don't get me started. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. I'll ask Cast if he will let me use his drawing of Kinter's glow up as well. More Kinter images, the better. We could have a whole section dedicated to it. I'm not mean to Blissey. I'm actually not. I'm very kind to my employees. I fucking love this. Smells of smoke. Shat his pants. Coward runs away. Why is he beefing with children? Who knows? No, I like cannons. Cannons. Don't even speak shit about my pirate ship, alright? Okay. Oh, we don't have a same person thing anymore. I had to remove the the GIF because I think it was causing issues. Queen Sensei is not on the board yet. Where would she be best placed? Probably the who did she know who she mates with? Queen Sensei is like not really in it a lot, is she? Oh, God. Do we use manga her or anime her? Yeah, manga her. I've got limited images of her. There we go. Oh yeah. The question is, who is that person that she helped? Whoa, what was that? Where's Manjiro? Is Manjiro on here? Is he on here? I don't think he is. That's awkward. Do I have him in my selection? There he is. His proud brow. Whoa. Back the hell off. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I think CSG is using Vlad. He just wants the knowledge. He just wants the knowledge. I feel like this is just too small scope. You know, I feel like the scope is just way too small here for CSG. You know, this guy's at the heart of everything. He's absolutely at the heart of everything. I assume that Queen Sensei heals people and takes on the sickness herself, or it takes like a health toll on her, you know. Right, what's next? Who we got next? What's up? Shat his pants. That's crazy. That's crazy. Right, the moon. We've got the moon. This is the busy, like, this side is is being used quite sparsely, I think. She green mild Ida. Yeah, that is basically what it was. That is basically what she did. You're right. I just realised who we don't have on the board. Yeah, no, exactly. I was literally doing that. That's crazy that you said that. That's crazy that you said that. Yeah. There's no space over by Momo. There was no space by Momo. Trained expert in investigation. And we'll link. And also link that to Miko. They're both kind of experts in this field. They're both kind of experts in this field. Pomade. Oh my god, you're right. Oh my god, you're right. Oh my god, you're right. Alright, it's looking good so far. I don't know why it keeps flashing whenever I move. I think that this software is maybe not designed for this many connections. You know? Like, it's probably not designed for such things. It's crazy, isn't it, that there's still no chapter out, guys? Don't you think that's crazy? I know that it probably hurts. It probably hurts for me to say that. But it is weird. Like, it's nice that we're able to do this regardless. I've had a very, like equal parts busy, equal parts lazy week. Because I've been away, obviously. So it's been 2 weeks, by the way, since we've done this. And you know, it doesn't feel. It's funny because it never feels like the channel is. It never feels like the channel is stagnant in those kind of situations. You know, it's funny because the soul. Yeah, don't worry about it. I got more. It's funny because like there's a lot of even just keeping things running on the channel, right? Like not everything is a profitable not everything is a profitable endeavor in a monetary sense, right? Like the streams typically, some of them will get donations and things like that, which is great. But not all the streams get donations. A lot of the time, it's just and there is like no ad revenue on the streams. Like if a stream does really well, the ad revenue will be like £2.50. You know, that's not enough for a coffee, that kind of thing. But it's about keeping things engaged, keeping the channel running, keeping people kind of locked into the community, and that is what it is, right? Is a community. And having that kind of feel of a community is really important, because it keeps people interested. And it's funny because I think that this is the defining piece to a channel that manages to, a community that manages to stay running. And to stay healthy, especially during times of like down period times when it comes to in this case Dandadan, right? So it's interesting to see because like not every channel makes it or keeps running because of these challenges when it comes to viewership can be quite drastic. You know, because a lot of time, like my point is that a lot of time goes into even just preparing the streams, doing the streams. That's not even content, like in the same way that the actual videos are. But what is really important is that there is this backing in a community setting. When people are invested and involved in the channel, people want to support the community. So that we can do things like this, so that we don't have to worry, so that I don't have to worry about just focusing on what next idea is going to be profitable. It can be a matter of what is it that's going to be fun for people to do, what is it that's going to be interesting for us to do while there's no chapter being released. And it's thanks to the fact that we've got people on Patreon. I think it's like 20 something people on the Patreon, and I don't know how many on YouTube. It depends on what point of the month it is, but because we've got that backdrop of people that we can rely on to support the channel in a subscription capacity, it means that we can do fun stuff like this, especially people in the yokai tier. So it's important that every week we recognize this. So I'm just going to shout out all the people on the Yokai Power Tier users on Patreon and on YouTube. That is 720, Angle, Back to Jellies, Blissycat, Danny Dan, 5th Gram, Jersey Backy, Mother Support on Summer Break, Old Toaster, Orbis 6565, Quentin Tarantado, Sarah, Wolf, Your Favorite Scented Candle, Zero, Tim Kai. And is Pickle in there? Yeah, he is, but he never shows up and I don't know why. Cool as a cucumber. Cool as a cucumber. Said it twice. I don't know why you don't show up there, Pickle. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. It's all the time. It's all the time. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I knew that you were missing. I went searching for you. It seems like I'm shitposting about it, but I'm not. I'm not even trying to. I'm not even trying to. You know, I tell you what, like that isn't even on me. That isn't even on me. The stealth gherkin, I hate that. That's awful. Tell you what though, for a pickle, he's got a pair of lungs on him. He's got a pair of lungs on him. But yeah, guys, the benefits of these, you know, I don't really have, I don't really have that many, that much that I can offer as perks for people on this tier, on any of the tiers really, outside of early access to the trailer for the next projects, and you know, a little bit of involvement in what it is that I do, or my ideas that I'm throwing around, what I'm working on. People get some insight into that on Patreon, not Patreon, on Discord. Patreon link in the description. Join as a free member to get access to the Discord. It's the best place on the internet for Dandadan, and joining as a free member is easy. It's worth it. If you're interested in Dandadan or anything like that. You know. Hi Natalia. Welcome. Yeah, thank you, Empire. Appreciate you. Every tier, anybody who is subscribed on any level, or even donates once to any of the streams, anything like that, it's more than what I could ask or expect from anybody on the attached to the channel in any way, because you know, like being kind of, well, people's patronage in a more literal sense. People's patronage to me is nothing, like in the big 2026 is nothing to take lightly. You know, it's tricky out there, and the fact that people want to support the channel even during all of that is very meaningful to me. It matters a lot to me. So I try to make sure that what that is to me. What that is to me is a reflection of people's desire to see the content keep a type of quality to it. So I strive to that, to achieve that consistently, rather than doing something else or rushing something or taking that for granted. So I appreciate any penny spent towards the channel, you know, even when it doesn't look like there's content coming out, there's always things I'm working on. It's difficult. You know, like, there's a day job, I have a day job, you know, and something that you realize is if you're coming out with content constantly, you'll run out of ideas before you know it. You know, you see it all the time. You know, some channels just don't make it, and it's a very interesting thing, because I don't like it's important to look at these things from my perspective and see what it is that caused them to not make it, and it's usually the fact that they don't have the same kind of community that we have this this group of people that are not just invested in the success of the channel, but also in the prosperity of the common community. You know, is that Wolf? Jesus Christ, what are you doing here? What's he doing here? That's crazy. What is he doing here? Absolutely unbelievable. What time is it there? And I saw a guy in a woolen jacket at the Tesco today, and it had a wolf on it. I was like, that reminds me of someone. Don't check my name on Discord, Rook. Well, you know I'm gonna. He knows I'm gonna because of that. I mean, I'd love to check your name on Discord, but oftentimes it just doesn't fucking let me. The stealth Gurgin. Where is he? I can't see where he is. British moment. Yeah, you got me. You got me. Yeah. Waiting for the train. Oh, I love that. We are weird goobers. You're quite right, Natalia. You're quite right. But, yeah, so anyway, anybody who's not on it already, Patreon, link in the description. Join as a free member on Patreon to get access to the Discord link. It's the best place on the internet for Dandadan. You know, I know some people here are lurkers. They prefer not to chat. That's totally fine. That's always fine. You know, even if you're there, you can just read. Like, no one's going to force you to engage. But, you know, a lot of people in the community, come from that background as well, of not wanting to engage. I'm not really much of a engager either when it comes to communities and things like that. So taking the opportunity to get involved can oftentimes be something that, even if you're taking baby steps toward it, something that you enjoy each week. You know, it means that we can have discussions. We discuss all the chapters there. This is where I'd put my chapter discussion this week, if I had one. God, I missed the chapter. Next week. We got a chapter next week, people. We can make it. We can make it. We can make it. Anyway. Lots of art. Yeah, lots of really cool stuff happening there all the time. Yeah, it's nearly over. We've just got to wait one more week. Less than a week now, people. Less than a week now. And if you're, if you can't control it, if you can't stop your waiting, you can always go and rewatch the Safety Zone Rookie back catalogue of content. That's right, the Safety Zone Rookie back catalogue of content is always there, waiting for you to re-experience Dandadan once more in the unique Safety Zone Rookie way. Leave a comment even. The latest video in defense of Dandadan's love triangles has just been put back online after copyright disputes. So please, by all means, go and watch it. Give it a like. Share it with your friends. Whatever it takes to spread the good word. I didn't pin the merch page. Fuck, you're right, dude. That's crazy. That's a good point. If you can't get enough of Safety Zone Rookie, you can check out the merchandise on safetyzonerookie.com. That's right, people. safetyzonerookie.com. View and peruse a variety of different Safety Zone Rookie and Dandadan related merchandise. You can explore the collection and still even get your hands on a Safety Zone Rookie Christmas sweater, which is still available on the website. Designed by our artists, in the community, by the community, for the community. Volume 3 coming soon. I am working on Volume 3. I've got stuff that I was working on with other people regarding Volume 3. I've just not gotten to it yet. But I will get to it. I will get to it, alright? This is what I mean. I'm just a one-man band. I would that would be crazy, wouldn't it? That I might co-opt people's IP. Working on that then. Well, I've not really been working on it is the problem. I've been tangled up in a bunch of other things. But, you know, I can work on new stuff. No problem. You know, I've actually got a really good idea. Give me a sec. I just thought of a really good idea. Hold on, I'm just taking a note of it. Let Jenny know. Let Jenny know I'm taking a note of this. Sorry, 1 second, guys. I just came up with a very good idea. With $1 million idea, guys. $1 million idea, guys. Right, I can't get a pickle plushie, okay? I might be able to purchase a plushie of a pickle and sell that on to you at an incredibly inflated price. Yeah, I mean, look, I am working on other things. No, I'm not working on anything, right? I've got merchandise ideas, and I've got some artwork that I planned on using for the merchandise. I've just not gotten it done yet. Okay, I've just not gotten it done yet. I've been busy. I've been a busy boy, a busy bee. Okay. Don't you? You may remember, but I did put together the Space Globalist Retold, and it nearly killed me. I did nearly die. I'm not briny. Don't say that about me. You don't mean that. No. My idea does involve a degree of, let's not say stealing. Let's say stealing. You know? It's like I'm like a pirate. Oh my god, I'm like a pirate. That's sick, dude. That's so cool. I'm like Robin Hood, except I'm like stealing from the poor for me. How sick is that? It's like Robin Hood, but in reverse. Yeah, exactly, Danny. Wait a minute. Has Danny even spoken yet? Have you just been waiting? Have you just been waiting on that to accuse me? Pays in rookie cookies. Yeah. Coins with his face on it. No, and it only works on the safeties on rookie shop. That's crazy. You know how cool it is that I got a shop though, guys? Did all of you click that link? Did all of you click that link, by the way? It's very important that you click that link. It's very important that you clicked it. In all chat? Oh, fuck off. I forgot to go on all chat. That's crazy. Why does it do that, man? I hate YouTube. No, YouTube. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. It's not stealing if he does it in a charismatic way. Yeah, that's true. No, if I'm not twirling a mustache, then it's not evil. You know? Think about that. What this? Oh, you're asking me about this. This is the Safeties on Rookie mug. You too can get your hands on a Safeties on Rookie mug. You can get your hands on one on the Safeties on Rookie store. You can get them in a variety of different sizes, featuring a variety of different artwork. This one's by Kells in the community, by the community, for the community, guys. Look at that. You can make tea or coffee. You can do whatever you like with these mugs. Get one now. Get one now. Get one now. And for a limited time only, I will sell you my kidney. Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes to get that revenue in, baby. Let's go. Be the bee. That's crazy. And break something. No, I don't. Superliminal. Superliminal. Buy it. I don't have any more merchandise over here right now. I have. Do you want to see the other merchandise? If I show you the other merchandise, guys. If I show you the other merchandise, are you going to buy it? Big question. Big question. Alright, it's very important that you answer this. If I show you the other merchandise, will you all go and buy it right now? No questions asked. No questions asked. The back catalogue. Because if not, I'm not getting up. You know what I mean? If not, I'm not getting up to show you it. You bought both. Buy them again. I'm joking. I'm joking. Thank you. Thank you. That's all I want in this world. It's very cool. It's very cool. I do think I am very proud of the merchandise. They are good quality, aren't they? I'm really proud of the merchandise. My worry is that it was going to come out like one of those just those like really cheap ass hoodies and stuff. You know those cheap ass hoodies and stuff. I was worried that it would come out like that. But they're actually really nice. I just wear them. I genuinely do. You know what? I'm just gonna get one. Look. Look at that. Where's the arm? Look at that. This is the coolest shit. This is the coolest shit. You see this? You see this on the arm? See that on the arm? It's so fucking cool. It's so fucking cool. Look at that shit. Isn't it sick? It is good. I'm glad that you all like the quality of it, because I'm really proud of these. Look at that. Put the merch on the chair. No, that's crazy. I'm not doing that. This is my chair. Well, I think the black version has a grey thing instead. Also, all of the ones, because this is a prototype, it doesn't have the gold ball on the front. It doesn't have the gold ball on the front. So my version is inferior to the version that you guys would get, and you can rub my face in that as much as you like. Because this was a test one before I made adjustments to it. But the color of this I love. I wish I got the white one. There's the zip up option as well. There's a zip hoodie option, which I have not partaken in either. But I'm very happy with the quality of this. They sit in my room all the time. I wear that a lot. You know? Right, okay, so what do you mean? Is that because I start a lot of my... Is that because all my voice notes start with right, okay, so... That's just how I talk. That's how I start almost every normal conversation that I have. It always begins with that. Oh, you got the zip one. I'm glad. That's cool. The zip one, I think, would be one of those things that you could just... I might actually just get the zip one myself, to be honest. You know, it's just because it's in white, I'm scared that I'll ruin it, you know. The other one is all the way up there, so I'm not going to get it. But yeah. I'm very, very happy with how all the merchandise came out. But you know, on a serious note, I do have stuff in collection 3, season 3 of the merchandise that I am working on. But much like Dandadan, Season 2 came out very soon after Season 1, but you're going to have to wait for Season 3. And in that same vein, Season 2 of the merchandise came out very soon after Season 1. But for Season 3, you're going to have to wait. But I'll make sure that it's worth the wait. You know, I just came up with a really good idea back there. If I come up with a bunch of different things all in one go, I think that we can have some fun with the next season, with a lot of variety of merchandise for people, you know. I mean, I guess you could make the argument that the Christmas sweater was also kind of Season 3, right? Like, you could make that argument that the Christmas sweater is that. It's in my closet somewhere. But I'll see if I can make something really fun. Maybe not a pickle plushie, but something fun. Would you guys be mad if I just resold Pickle Ricks? Yeah? What do you think? I could just get a bunch of Pickle Ricks and then resell them to you at an inflated price. What do you think? I'll sign them. I'll sign them with I'm Pickle Rook. What do you think? What do you think? I'll go buy them in bulk. And then I'll sign them with I'm Pickle Rook. Funniest shit I've ever seen. And then I'll send them to you. What do you think? What do you think? Pretty good. That was an OVA. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. I think that's pretty good. I'm actually quite. Someone mentioned selling some Pickle Ricks. Someone mentioned that earlier. I don't know who that was, but I'm kind of feeling it. Yeah. I'll put on a really cheap eye patch on it as well. Why not? Fuck it. Why not? Why not? And I think you mean Naked Snake, Big Boss, his eye patch, unless you mean the solid eye. Unless you mean the solid eye. You need to know your snakes. Brother, you need to know your snakes. You're Australian. I thought you'd know your snakes, bro. I thought you'd know your snakes, bro. Anyway, this is kind of quickly devolved into me just absolutely being just being an absolute shit. There are a lot of questions for these characters. I kind of wish that I'd made this somehow a collaborative thing, you know? Because it's become quite complicated. I wish I could get a printout of this. You know, guys, when we finish this, maybe we can just get it printed out. We can just get it printed out as mouse pads. Big mouse pads. What do you think? Pretty good, huh? Yeah. Yeah, custom display. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Safety's on rookie custom display. What do you think, guys? Right. You know what? I don't think I can take a picture of this. Because it's like... Oh, I can share the board. Oh, I can download it. What? I can download the board. Yo, that's crazy. I can download it. I'll do that. Yeah, I'm gonna do that in a minute when we finish. Yeah, right. I think I'm. All right. Oh, I've already done it. Oh, what? It looks terrible. Looks terrible. None of the images are there. Why does it look so bad? What the hell? Right, I'm gonna have to figure this out at a later point. But anyway, right. I'm done with the board. We didn't really get that much done. You know, it was weird. Like, all the images were gone on the download. Doesn't really matter. We'll figure it out. But screenshot it in pieces. That sounds awful, but maybe it's going to be a necessity. There's not a way for me to just... I'll figure it out. Don't worry about it. I'll figure it out. I'm a genius. But, yeah. I mean, like, we've kind of run out of Dandadan things that are new to talk about. I feel like at a certain point, a lot of what I do here is restate things. A lot of what I do is I just restate things a lot each week to help people cope. And it's like been weeks since we've had something, right? So I'm kind of just like, what's it been? Is next week going to have been a month? Is that right? 4 weeks? I think that's correct, isn't it? Jesus Christ. That's ages, isn't it? This is like a horrific hiatus. We should have just done a reread of something. We should have just done a reread of the first arc. Start from scratch. But we'll have something next week. That's the main thing. Something to actually talk about, which would be really nice. I'm very excited to get back to it, though. I think that we're gonna have a good run here. I really do. What do you guys think? I do think I'm gonna get going in a minute. I've had a week of like I said at the beginning of the stream, my week has been kind of high intensity busyness mixed in with low intensity nothingness. And as a consequence of that, my body is just not ready for going back to work tomorrow. However, before I go, let's talk content. Yeah, that's true. Let's talk content. So the Love Triangles video is back up. We've got the stream. The gaming stream will be Friday on Twitch. Twitch.com. Twitch.tv/SafetyZoneRookie. Monday, another stream. Obviously, we'll be back here. Same time every week on Monday. And then I am working on content. It's in the writing phase at the moment, so I can't really talk about it in any real capacity. But when I start to get an actual rhythm going, I will let people on Mount Olympus in the Discord know about it. Patreon link in the description to join. Join as a free member to get access to the Discord. It's the best place on the internet for Dandadan. It really is. And beyond that, guys. Beyond that, I think that's me. But next week, guys, you know, be ready for it. Okay? Be ready for it, because I'm sure that people online are going to be very normal. I'm sure people online are going to be very normal about whatever happens, so get ready for that. Anyway, guys, I'm going to cut this short, and I'm just going to go because I'm very tired. So I will talk to you guys later on. Yeah. Alright, guys. Bye-bye.